Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Today I'm going to be working on my next victim. This is lawn tractor number 5 out of the 7 that I got from Mowers. This is the Toro Wheelhorse 1238 XL. 12 horsepower flathead engine, 38 wide mowing deck. Mowing deck is trashed. Not so bad on the left side, but on the right side it's got about 3 or 4 rotted rust holes. Also looks like the belt is completely Dunsky, right? And what's even worse is, I don't think the engine is going to run. It's locked up. Can't even turn it. I have difficulty getting the hood to open because the latch is rusted. So I had to kind of finagle it just to get it open. As you know, I've been hard up on batteries for a while. I need batteries like nobody else's business. But Walmart has shut down their auto service area where that's where you get the batteries from. I mean, I could just go over there and get the batteries, you know what I mean, and then have a regular clerk, cashier, check out, but then I won't get credit for my $5 core charge. And even if I tried to get it, I'd have to wait on this long customer service line, which I did last time, to get my $5 back per battery. So you know what I did? I checked Advanced Auto Parts. A lot of them have closed down also, but the one near me is still open. So get this. They've got a 160cc cold cranking battery for $22.99. That's even cheaper than the Walmart one. But the Walmart one is $24.97, and it's 230 cold crank amps. It's a difference of quite a bit, like 70 cold cranking amps, you know. But right now, I'm kind of desperate for batteries, and it's not like I could just get them whenever I feel like it. You know what I mean? So I've got 3 core batteries, which they all suck. I've tried them. Trust me, I've tried them. And so I have 3. So I went and bought 3 online at Advanced Auto Parts, and they said that I can just go to the store now because it's ready to pick them up. Basically, what I have to do is once I get into their parking lot, I call them. I said, "Hey, it's me. I'm here. I've got the 3 cores." They're going to tell me to put the cores on the curb. See, they're going to have a guy come out with a cart with my 3 new batteries and take the 3 cores back. Nobody touches nobody, you know. So I'm on my way there just to check it out. So it cost me $91 total with tax, minus the 15 core charges for the 3 batteries, $5 each. Got my 3 core batteries over here, ready for exchange. Here in New York, they only give you $5 for the core exchange. Signs there says stop, collaborate, and listen. I suspect a brand new invention, something more like a stop going. I don't know. Turn off the lights. Turn out glow to the extreme. I want the mic like a man. Hey, how you doing? I'm outside your store with the 3 core batteries for my pickup. Thanks very much. How's it going? Thanks. Those are my 3 cores, right? Would you make sure that they'll credit my thing with the 15?
I took it off already.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. It doesn't matter, right? Because I paid with PayPal?
It doesn't. It goes back however you paid.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that interesting or what, huh? Autocraft, lawn and garden. 160 cold cranking amps. I know it's not very strong, but I'm desperate. I need batteries. Plus, it was only $22.99. That's pretty cheap, right? And here's a receipt. Says it credited me with $15 core charge. So the whole thing, all three batteries, only cost me with tax $76.21. So that's pretty cheap, I guess, you know. And as long as I have 3 fresh batteries for my lawn tractors, you know, that's all I really want, you know. And this was pretty convenient to do, you know what I mean? You don't touch anybody, you don't have contact with anybody. I got my gloves on. So, I rolled it out here because it's really nice out today, you know. I'm sorry about all the sound problems I've been having the past, two out of three, you know, parts of the 2 out of 3 episodes I've had recently have had very low volume. The reason behind that is, I'll show you why. So I've got this wireless mic, right? They call this a lavalier, right? So when you turn it on, first of all, it's from China, right? And the battery doesn't last very long. I would say hour and a half tops, you know, and I spend all day out here, maybe 3 hours or so. You guys only see the clips of the important parts. There are parts where I'm just walking around and stuff and trying to find the part, you know, trying to find a bolt, you know. I'm not recording all that, you know what I mean? I'm just giving you guys the action parts, the parts that matter, you know. So this thing is on the whole time. So I could be out here 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, you know. This thing will die. But not only that, I keep this in my pocket sometimes along with my other phone, right? This is the phone that I use to call people and text people. The phone I'm using to record is just for videos, right? So sometimes I put this in the same pocket. When you put it in the same pocket, sometimes you press this button left and right. That's the volume control. So sometimes if I'm leaning against something, whatever, it'll do the volume all the way to 0, you know? So that's the issue. So what I'm trying to do today is, see, I just pressed it. What I'm trying to do today is, I'm going to keep this on my waistband. That way I probably won't touch anything, you know? So that ought to fix the volume problems. In the meantime, I will be checking the clips here and there to make sure that they're clear and you can hear me well. Also, here's the microphone, right? If I talk straight into it, it's great. But if it's just hanging here and sometimes the cloth is blocking it, you're not going to hear it, you know? So those are the issues that, you know, come with recording, I guess, if you want clear sound. I never had this problem before when I just had the boom mic, you know, with the furry thing. But then with that, sometimes you can't hear it all when I'm far away, you know. So these are, I guess, you know, you learn when you're making YouTube videos. These are the issues that you have with film production, right? Anyway, so I wanted to tell you, I was looking over this tractor, and it's got some issues, man. For sure. So look, watch. When I turn the steering all the way to the left, it goes all the way to the left. Good steering, you know, that, you know, what I'm saying is the angle of turning, you know. But then when you want to turn it to the right, right, it only goes here. So I think it skipped a tooth, or 2, or 3. Because this only turns, I don't know, man, like 20 degrees, you know? Whereas this one can turn almost 45 degrees. Actually, if that hood wasn't in the way, probably turn, yeah, 45 degrees. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I'm not really looking forward to that, you know? Fortunately, I might have bigger issues than that.
This is a 12 horsepower Flathead. Love these engines. This is the same engine on my Black Beauty that I've had for like 20 years, you know? Great engines, very reliable. Nothing. I mean, not even a millimeter. It's just solid. Just... Oh, wait a minute. I think I just unfroze it just from doing that. It was solid before. Yeah. And it's got compression. Hey, how about that? Just like that, live on video. I unfroze it just with my hands. I'm like the Hulk, guys. And it has compression. Let me rotate it the other way, see if it gets hung up, because if you had a busted connecting rod, right, sometimes you'll turn it one direction and you'll be able to turn it, right? Fortunately, you'll be able to turn it easily. But then when you turn it the other direction, right, the broken connecting rod will get hung up somewhere and you won't be able to turn it. This one turns both ways with compression, which means that the connecting rod is still connected to the piston. I did check the Earl. It's a little dirty, but it's full. A little bit past full by like 3/4 of a quart. Also, this hood gets hung up a lot. Also, hood is in bad shape here, completely cracked. See? It's barely being held together. Before I ruin this anymore, I'm going to try to remove it because I got to work on the engine area anyway. So I don't want to mess with that area by accident, so I want to try to remove it. I think it's savable. It's kind of difficult to get it out. One bolt there and one bolt there, but the access to that bolt is a little difficult. As you can see here, we're at the right side of the mower deck. It does have a mulch cover, albeit busted. Still mulch cover. It's bolted on two bolts here. But look at the deck itself. Rotted over there. 3 of them, 3 holes. While you could just put sheet metal over it and fix it if you want to or had to. Mondo, my buddy Mondo, actually has an extra deck for this. This thing actually came with an extra deck, but he had it buried inside his storage locker, so the day that he brought it over, he didn't have time to go back there, take everything out, take the deck out, and bring it with him. So the next time I see him, he'll bring it, so I'm not going to worry too much about this deck. I just hope that the deck he's giving me is going to be better than this. Just walking around this tractor, you see the seats need reconditioning for sure. Somebody had duct tape all over it for the cracks, which is what I used to do, but as you guys know, I have almost perfected my seat reconditioning methods. Just for you enthusiasts, there is no battery, and the model number is 71180. This was for the bagger, which I don't have. It actually does have the Toro Wheelhorse lens insert for the lights, which is cool, right? I mean, it's missing this part here, but it's got bulbs in both. It's missing this. It's cracked on the sides here, right? Hey, better something than nothing, right? Actually has the bulb modules in here, and all you need to do is get some wire. Negative, positive. You can hook it up, so that's not too bad. So first thing I'm going to do is see the height adjusters work, and the transmission seems good. The PTO feels good. Brake with the stop works. So the deck, it's the hood, it's the engine. Has a key, has its own dedicated light switch as well. Throttle seems to work. Oh, it has tilt steering. Look at this. And it's got nothing, no gas, completely dry. Got some leaves in there, whatever. Might have to remove the gas tank, blow it out. I have a feeling that this is going to take a long time to fix. But that's okay. We have nothing but time these days, right? Since it appears that I have unlocked the engine, that's what it appears. I could be wrong, but so far so good, right? Before you couldn't even turn it. And in front of your eyes, I unlocked it. So, and it seems like it has compression. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out if that starter works, the solenoid works, the ignition switch works, all from getting this a power source to it. So luckily, as you guys just saw, I have 3 new batteries to put in. Which I'm going to mount right now. And it comes with the terminal bolts and nuts too. Bonus! So as you see, I've got my new battery here. This is the Autocraft Lawn and Garden battery. I got this for $22.99 plus tax over at Advanced Auto Parts, as you guys just saw. Yes, I understand it is a 160 CCA, and I'm used to getting the 230 from Walmart, which was only $24.97, right? So I paid a couple of bucks less for 70 less amps. However, I was desperate, you know what I'm saying? This made it more convenient for me without the risk of, you know, there was some risk, of course, but the risk was very minimal. The way they did the transaction, you know, there's no human contact whatsoever, you know. It is actually 200 crank amps at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's warm, you're probably going to get close to 230 crank amps. So it's okay, you know. So the battery box is somewhat clean. And look, the positive and the negative are equidistant, you know, like some of them, the power is longer than the black one, or the black one's longer than the positive one, right? But this one's equidistant, so it doesn't matter where you do it. However, it's kind of short from here to there, so you want to make sure that the terminals are closer to the top, not the bottom. Yep, that'll reach. Oh! Anyway, I wanted to show you my setup here. So this is going to be very comfortable for me. I've got my little chair where I can just sit there and relax and slowly do it at my pace. I got my rolling radio flyer, which now I just use my own most common tools I put in there, so it's easily accessible. So I'm just going to sit there and put this battery on. Just like that. Magic of television. Battery's all connected now. Let's see if it starts, or at least cranks. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to see if it cranks. If it cranks and we hear the engine turning, we know that the starter works, the solenoid works, the ignition switch works, and the battery connections work. So we're going to do all the safety switches to assume that they have to be on. Brake, choke, it's in neutral. I'm sitting on the seat. Let's see if it cranks. What do you guys think? It'll crank? I don't think it will. Ooh. Awesome. Okay, so you guys saw that, right? Ignition switch works, solenoid works because it gets power from the battery to the starter. The starter is strong enough to turn the engine. However, it doesn't really turn it that fast. You notice that? But it does turn though. Let's test the voltage of the battery. That battery might have been sitting at the shop for a long time. I'm actually pretty stoked right now. You know why? Because since we know the starter works, the solenoid, the ignition switch, and the battery connections that are all on due to the safety switches, I don't have to mess with that. Normally, I always have to change a starter or a solenoid or an ignition switch or something crazy like that, you know what I mean? So I'm happy that that all works. Or, you know, preliminarily we see it works, you know? Let's see the voltage. It was cranking kind of slow. Well, that's a strong battery, man. Even after all that cranking, it's 12.91. That's a very strong battery right now, but it just cranks kind of slow, don't you think? Maybe after a little while it'll be better. So what we're going to do is, now we're going to take the air cleaner box out and shoot some fluid in there because there's no gas in here, right? So I'm going to shoot some fluid in there and see if it starts up. I'm checking my volume from time to time to make sure that these clips that I'm doing are good. Got this free starting fluid that I got from Mondo. He left it in one of the battery boxes of one of the tractors. Scores! Yeah, guess what? I have a feeling that there's a rat's nest in there. Speaking of rat's nest, somebody died of hantavirus in Florida recently. They haven't had a case of hantavirus in a long time. Hantavirus is when you inhale the rat droppings and feces microbes from that. Anyway, so look, battery box is off, filter's off. I'm going to spray some of this. I guess it's ether when it's starting fluid. There's no shut off or anything. You know what? I choked it when I did that, so nothing went in there. Choke it again. Let's just see if it starts without me sitting on it. Oh, it does. So seat safety switch is not working. Well, I don't know. It seems like it's really slow. You know what I mean? The cranking is slow. I'm going to remove the spark plug.
Henry, I thought you were going to remove the hood.
I was going to remove the hood if I was going to have a lot of problems with this engine, but it looks like it turns, so. Spark plug looks okay. There's not a lot of oil or carbon buildup on it. Let's crank it and see if it cranks faster and if anything shoots out the front. Nothing shot out the front. Let's test for spark. Connect the spark plug back on here again. Kind of touch it somewhere. You guys aren't going to be able to see this. Sorry, there's no real way to do it. Yes! It's got spark. So it's got spark. Cranks. Let's shoot some starting fluid into the hole here.
Henry, if you took off the hood, you could do it easier.
Shut up.
That's a lot.
It has spark. Just blew fluid in there. So once it sparks, it should ignite. So when you press the, when you put the spark plug in there, it kind of doesn't want to stay there, you know? I gotta like crimp the metal thing in the coil. All right, let's see if it starts up a little. Sort of did, right? I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it's spinning fast enough, does it? Just put a battery charger to it just to see if it cranks faster. Ooh, okay. A little bit, huh? Remove 2 bolts on either side. Remove the hood. Like I said, it's all cracked over here, so I don't want to really move it all that much, you know. It's a 9/16 bolt right on this pivot point right here near the muffler. This one was really tough to get out. The other one was okay. I suspect that there's a mouse nest under here, so I'm gonna remove this cover. It's 4 3/8 to remove the shroud, 1 5/16 to remove the dipstick from there. Let's see if we have a mouse nest. Two 3/8 on the front. It's going to take a while to get to the back ones because you can't get an impact in there. 5/16 to loosen this bracket. This bracket holds the shroud cover to the dipstick. Dipstick? Cletus, you dipstick? So here we go. What do you guys think? Mouse nest or what? For sure! For sure. Maybe we can figure out why it cranks so slow. Damn it! Holy cow, I could tell already.
Henry, you should have removed.
Oh my God! Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! Don't breathe, Henry. Oh boy. That's pretty damn bad, bros. Pretty damn bad, man. I gotta go get a mask. That's pretty bad, huh? But I never get a mouse, though. I'd like to get a mouse. I mean, I have had a few mice, but not a lot. Yeah. You think this had something to do with it cranking slow? Maybe, right? A lot of stuff in the way, whatever. Maybe. But it is only just grass and leaves and stuff, so why would that prevent a motor from cranking too slow? I'm not sure about that. I got my air compressor fired up. Just stopped. Man, this thing is packed. Holy. Packed. A lot of stuff in here, man. A lot. Just jammed in there, like packed. All the fins filled. Fins are filled with it. This is going to take a long time to clean this out, for sure. Screwdrivers, all that stuff. Forever. Let me go get the air compressor, because this is going to take a while. Let's see how much we can do. I might have to take the tins off. Gonna have to take the carburetor off too. This thing has been sitting outside for a long time. It's even worse that it's wet too. I took the front tin off and bent down the side one. Look at the stuff in here. Also, somebody taped up this Magneto, see? This Magneto's like, it works, but I question how well. All right, you guys have seen enough. I'm gonna lubricate the ring gear here using some toolbox buddy from my friends over at Lucas Oil Products. It's because it's getting hung up. See if it cranks better now. Still doesn't crank very fast, you know. Let's try a little bit of spray again. I doubt this worked because this is all jammed full of crap now from the blowing. I got to take the carburetor apart anyway, but let's just see. There you go. Surprised it doesn't do it more, you know? Would you just look at all that crap? So I got it much cleaner. I think my next step will have to be taking the carburetor off. I just moved the tractor back just so I'd have more room to be on this side. Look at all the crap that just blew out, you know? This isn't even the stuff that I had, you know, before. I mean, it's just stuff that I blew out. Crazy, right? Removing the air box. It's 7/16 bolts over here, and remove the clamp. This hose is very stiff. It's like plastic now. It's not even rubbery. I'm gonna have to change this. See, look at that. It's just crazy. I'm gonna just cut it. I'm not gonna, that is just like super plasticky. You see what I'm saying? And get 7/16. So because this is designed where this dashboard actually comes out, you can't even get an impact in here, so you have to get a 7/16 wrench ratchet to get that inner 7/16 bolt off of the air cleaner base that's attached to the carburetor. No using impacts here. And then there's another 5/16 over here that holds the bracket. O-ring came off of this. It belongs right there. Quarter-inch studs that take that off. I'm sorry, 5/16. So this is a Walbro carburetor. I believe it's LMT 5993. 4993, I forget. But since this is only a 12 horsepower, the carburetor, the Nicky carbs that have a straight fuel nozzle, that probably will work. Fortunately, I have a few of those in case this carburetor is Dunsky. Do you guys think this carburetor will be Dunsky? This is the older one because it still has the, I guess it's aluminum aluminum intake manifold. This video will definitely be over an hour long. Definitely. But that's okay. You guys like to watch longer videos now that we're in coronavirus quarantine, right? There's no sports to watch. I've been watching all my regular shows like FBI and FBI Most Wanted, which I don't think is as good as FBI. NCIS, they're not making new episodes. So I'm watching old stuff, which is no good. I don't want to watch old stuff. So you take this pivot down, right? The last hole here. Oh, this, okay, yep, it does. Little tiny one. Disconnect, pivot this. And there you go. LMT 4993. Is that what I said? I think that's what I said. Anyway, let's take this off and see what we find. Ooh, that was actually kind of easy, scary.
Don't lose the nut, Henry.
You're a nut. All right, let's see. That's been on here for a while. How about that? That's not even very dirty, but you can tell it's super dry. This is actually very clean looking. I'm surprised. Looks very clean. Pretty clean. Dry. I'm pretty amazed. Looks very clean. I'm gonna try to get that jet out of here. Took some doing, but I extracted the main jet out of there. Kind of damaged it a little bit, but it's okay. The jet's still good. I won't remove it again because it's almost impossible to remove it again. But I'll be able to put it in easier because it's only the removing parts that are stripped. Carburetor here. This is obviously clear because there's no jet. I saw it. Okay, all the holes are clean. I'm going to remove the fuel air mixture screw right here. That's very easy. It's sharp. There's another jet here that goes vertically. A lot of people miss that. Sometimes they don't even have this, so this is an older one. Oh, look at that. Oh no, it's not blocked. It's just water or fuel. I'm running out of this. And I can see through it, it's fine. This is non-adjustable, goes all the way in. Yeah, this video is definitely going to be over an hour. You guys are welcome to skip forward. This is just a carb clean. To set it, you put it all the way in, right? Until you can't turn it anymore. Back it out 1.5. So that's a half, another half, another half. That's 1.5. Make sure this is tight. It is. So, you know what? That's a pretty clean carb. Let me put this jet back in, put everything back together again. So I've got the carburetor back on after I cleaned it. I'm going to replace this fuel hose right over here. This is actually not the kind of fuel filter that you want for this anyway. This is for a gravity fed type, you know. I have a video about that. I'm going to remove this gas tank because it has stuff in it. And since we're already here, I might as well just remove it, right? And I guess if I just remove that bracket, this gas tank might just come right out. And it does. Nice gas tank. This hose actually looks okay. It's clear. I'm going to replace this fuel filter and another hose. So you can see there's a ton of nuts and crap in there now. I'm going to cover up the mouth of the carburetor so none of that stuff gets in there. And blow it out. Might have to suck it out. Nah, I can blow it out. It's more fun to blow than to suck. My battery is dying, and so I'm going to try to put a new Magneto on there. I'm going to take my camera back into charge, and then by the time I come back out, I should have done quite a bit. Hey everybody, so it's been about 2 hours. Been screwing around with this thing for a while. I super glued the crack on the hood. In the meantime, I super glued my hands too. It's all like, the skin is all hard and sticky, you know what I mean? I put everything together here. I'll show you what I did. put the cover back on. I took the gas tank off and blew it out. Changed the gas lines. Put the air filter stuff back again. Put the carburetor back again. Changed the fuel line so now it's a shorter fuel line. Goes straight to the carburetor, right? It had a little bit of a gas leak from the petcock. You know, the piece right from the tank to the 90-degree turn, right? And I had to put a washer in there just to make it more tighter, otherwise it has a small little leak. Changed the fuel filter to a regular gravity-fed type fuel filter, right? Swept up a little bit, and this is what I did with the, as you can see, I've got black silicone there, right, along the crack, and then I put an old inner tube, cut strips of the inner tube to solidify that structure, you know, and it's being held down by the black silicone. I did super glue the crack, so that just helps it hold. So I'll wait for that to kind of cure, you know. Oh, I want to show you guys something else. Remember I always wanted a rat? Well, this is what I found when I was cleaning up. It's a baby rat, baby mouse. I feel kind of bad. Baby. Anyway, you guys ready for this? You guys think it'll start? I had it on lowest throttle and it was just like purring. Now on stall. Let's see if it moves forward and backwards. Ooh! Whiplash! For a ride. Engine's really quiet, you know, for a flathead. It's very unusual. It's very quiet. I guess the muffler for the Toros are made very well. I remember all the Toros that I've had. They're pretty quiet compared to regular flathead engines, you know? I mean, this is a flathead engine, but I guess the muffler is a little better. Carburetor sounds great. It doesn't surge at all. Works just fine. My turning radius for the right turn is terrible because, like I said, it only turns about 20 degrees, whereas the left turn is almost 45 degrees, so I can turn really well to the left. Really well. But the right side, not so much. I'm in 5th gear now. It's pretty quick. So the cop that lives across the street from me, remember I told you that his wife probably has coronavirus because he got tested? Well, I just saw them walking with their kid on the street with no mask. So I guess it was a negative on the test. Good for them. This thing is purring like a kitten, runs great. I'm gonna put the throttle up just a little bit on the idle so that I could turn it all the way down to idle. It just sounds fantastic. Awesome. So in one episode, which is pretty cool, we took out a huge mouse nest, drained the fuel tank, cleaned it out, replaced the fuel lines, replaced the fuel filter, right? Replaced the Magneto, ignition coil, armature, whatever you want to call it, because that one had like a wrap around it, you know, so maybe it wasn't getting the best spark in the world, even though it did have spark. Let's see, what else would we do? That's basically all we did, right? Basically got the engine started, put the new battery in there, took it for a ride. The engine runs great. I'm stoked, man, really. Did a little bit of repair on the hood, and then my next episodes are going to be finishing up the hood, right? Doing an oil change because this oil is terrible, right? And also the big thing is the steering. So I have to figure out why it turns left very well, but when you want to turn right, it only turns like 20 degrees. So you can't really turn very well going right. So either it skipped the tooth, you know, where it's in the middle or something like that, or it might be the rod that connects the left to the right wheel is bent, like we had in my other problem, which was a tow-out condition. But you don't see a tow-out condition here, right? But I bet you it has something to do with that too. So we'll investigate that, and then in the future episodes I'll have to remove this deck because, well, the deck is rotted. So, but thanks a lot for joining me today. And oh man, that's fantastic, isn't it? This is mower number 5 from my Mondo Mowers trade, and so far so good, man. All the engines run. Thanks, Mondo. Go check them out on Instagram and YouTube. Tell them Henry sent you. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram @MowersBlowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on the next project. Have a great day.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.